Welcome to Miami, a city known for covering your drink in a bar, drug-fueled sex yachts, jumping into cars without opening the doors, and a weather-controlling magnet. The race starts and Kimi and Max both lock up running wide into turn 1. Max gets a bit too overzealous on the throttle, doing a 360, while Charles manages to slip past both of them like a gunman at a presidential dinner. Thatcher and Hamilton had a little touch, but Franco got past him, making Hamilton officially washed. Max began barging his way through the midfield, making contact with several cars, driving like a madman with his classic move of force them off the track or die strategy. Bit of fun. Lawson didn't want any of the shenanigans, so he let Max pass on lap 2 before turn 11. Lap 3, Osama gets past Oscar into P4. Next lap, Antonelli retakes the lead just before lap 5. On the same lap, Charles repasses Kimi before turn 11, and now Norris is right up Kimi's ravioli. But oh no! Hadjar has crashed. But why? The mainstream would have you believe that Hadjar fucked his suspension into the silly turn 14-15 chicane when he clipped the wall and went straight into the barrier. But in reality, the weather-controlling magnet had accidentally been switched on, which pulled Hadjar into the wall, ruining his race. You would imagine this would immediately bring out a safety car, but no, and Lando overtakes the Italian. But oh no, Gasly is upside down. After 5 weeks of not hitting into someone, Lawson saw an opportunity and suplexed Gasly like he was Brock Lesnar.
From a 500-pound superplex! Oh my God!
Hadjar's still in the car very upset. Not because he crashed, because he's a Red Bull driver, which means he's one bad day away from being demoted to the guy that makes the tea for the guy that makes the coffee. Lap 7, the safety car is out and Max pits for hards, while the top 3 remain out on the medium tyre. Lap 11, the race restarts with Charles making a good getaway. Piastri goes wheel to wheel with George. George is still upset from Oscar calling him a Tory fucking Japan, but George doesn't manage to overtake him. Russell then came on the radio to complain that he was in the wrong mode and that he was watching Instagram reels instead of TikToks at the restart. This of course was all the team's fault and they should be catapulted at a wall for such an offence. On lap 13, Lando passes Charles at turn 11, and by the next lap Kimi is right up Charles's twat. Italian versus Italian machinery. Spaghetti versus Dolmio sauce. Leonardo da Vinci versus a Vespa. And Charles takes the position into turn 1, but then Kimi overtakes Charles at turn 11. On lap 22, Ferrari pit Charles with a slow stop that brings him out behind George. Leclerc's confused. Why did they pit him? Was it because of the possibility of rain they kept edging us with the whole race? Every lap a team radio would come on saying, rain any second now, but not a drop to be found. But we will never know why they pitted Charles, because they didn't reply to him. Why didn't they reply to him? Because Jimmy Fallon was going around the garages eating everyone's microphone, so they couldn't reply. On lap 27 at turn 17, Max, who after pitting was down in P17, now overtakes Hamilton and is into 4th, while Kimi pits, coming out behind Hamilton. Lap 28, Norris pits and comes out just ahead of Kimi, but Kimi gets past him with ease and is now into P3. One lap later he passes Max for the lead of the race. Lap 29, Norris passes Max, but Max says, "Oh, do you bloody think so?" and gets past Lando. But Lando simply replies, "Shut your face," and his face was shut. Lap 31, Charles gets past Osama, and on lap 35, Piastri is right behind George and gets past him into P5. Charles gets past Max at turn 1, but Max has had enough of these spaghetti fuckers and gets past Charles again at turn 4 and 5. Lap 55, George has a run on Max at turn 17, but doesn't get past. Then has another run at him into turn 1, seemingly damaging his front wing. On the penultimate lap, Oscar and Charles have a little Rochambeau, and then at the run up to turn 17, Oscar gets past Charles and now into P3. But oh no! DJ Slim has walked past the track, causing a gravitational pull, causing Charles to spin, and now he has some damage. George gets past him on the second to last corner, and Verstappen just before the line, falling from 3rd to 6th, and then 8th after a penalty for being a bit too entertaining. After the race, Max was also given a 5-second penalty for being on a line at the pit exit, something that took the stewards over an hour to decide whether or not he did in fact cross. It is believed when they were first told that Max was on a line, they replied, "Fuck yeah, me too," and then discovered that they meant his car and a painted line on the track.
Bed goes up, bed goes down, bed goes up, bed goes down.